Okay, well, thank you very much. Kumusta kayo mga kababayan ko dito po sa Malaysia, no? Sa West Malaysia, dito din sa Sabah, kumusta tayong lahat? I hope everything is running smoothly sa buhay natin po. Today is Tuesday, October 28 na po, and mayroon din tayong mga balita galing sa Pilipinas, which I want to share with you dito po sa Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico, itong araw na ito po. Totoo ba yon na identify or nag-hint na isang gobernador, ex-governor or former governor dyan po sa Pilipinas, nag-hint siya po sino ang mastermind ng flood control projects dyan po sa Pilipinas involving trillions of pesos. And dahil dyan po sa flood control projects anomalous transactions, galit na galit ang mga tao ngayon, ang mga Filipinos. Hindi lang mga Filipinos dyan po sa Pilipinas, ang mga Filipinos din dito po sa Sabah, o dito din sa Malaysia, and of course, mga iba-ibang Filipinos, especially mga overseas Filipino workers, sa ibang-ibang nation sa mundo. Galit na galit tayo po dahil po, we are the one, in many ways, through our remittances, monthly remittances or weekly remittances, yearly remittances po sa Pilipinas po. Now, we are helping a lot sa economy natin po. And we are just hoping, trabaho kami dito sa labas, hoping that maganda ang buhay ang mga loved ones namin na we temporarily left dyan po sa Pilipinas. Ibig sabihin, maganda ang buhay. Ibig sabihin, maganda ang mga public facilities being offered ang gobyerno natin. But unfortunately po, it's not happening. And dahil dyan po, dahil dyan, galit ang mga Filipinos. Dahil every time, for example, every time may baha or typhoon dyan po sa Pilipinas, ang mga Filipinos po, ang mga relatives namin, ang mga loved ones namin po, are victims of flash flood. Na wala ang mga loved ones natin, may mga fatalities na may namatay every time may typhoon tayo dyan, or heavy downpour, flash flood, or any natural calamities po. So, tayo, mga Filipino, nagiging biktima itong problema natin sa Pilipinas. And we hope, kami, mga Filipino sa labas ng bansa natin, we are hoping that maka-address na tayo. We will be able to address once and for all. We will find a final solution dito po sa problema natin po. Para at least magbangon na ang Pilipinas, we will be able to progress ulit po. Because sa ngayon, nakikita natin, I don't know if you will agree with me, we can see what is happening sa Pilipinas. Instead, we are going up. Unfortunately, we are going down to the drain. Unless the government will do something, unless tayo po, mga Filipinos, will do something po, then it will prevent our country from going down. From going down po. Kasi lahat tayo po, we want maganda ang buhay natin po. Maganda ang buhay natin. We want that our country will progress. Sa ngayon po, nakikita natin po, parang we are being left behind from our neighboring countries sa Asia. Noon, maganda ang standing natin sa Asian region, sa world. Respetado ang maraming mga Filipinos or mga nation sa Pilipinas noon. But unfortunately po, it is now changing. So unless something will happen or ang government natin will do something, then siguro po, our standard of living, ang Pilipinas will prosper. For as long walang malaking changes po, changes coming from not only from the government but also from the Filipinos, then kailangan unified tayo po. Kailangan in unison tayo to bring back ang nation natin po to the level of progress. Filipinos are not for nothing. Matalino tayo po. and very compassionate, very forgiving, God-fearing po. And this is the reason why some of our leaders, hindi naman lahat, some of our leaders took advantage of our nature in life. Forgiving, God-fearing, forgive and forget, give chance them, give another chance for those who offended us. And this is what is happening sa Pilipinas. Alright? So, stick to my program and we will be touching ngayon some issues po. Especially itong somebody already from a former official sa gobyerno po, former governor, hinted. Totoo ba yun po? May prueba ba yun? May resibo ba yun? May evidence ba yun po? When he hinted that ang mastermind ng flood control projects, scandal dyan po sa Pilipinas is malalaman tayo mamaya. Okay? In the meantime, today is October 28 and last day na po ng ongoing ASEAN Summit po. Today, the ASEAN Summit will culminate po. And of course, ang mga leaders ng ASEAN countries will be going back to their respective countries. And kahapon, nakita natin po, one day lang ang presidente ng United States of America attended ang summit, ang opening ng official opening of the summit, ASEAN Summit po, and I'm referring to no less than President Donald Trump. Yesterday, he left the Philippines going to somewhere sa Japan ba yun or sa South Korea kasi mayroon din siyang mga meetings doon. So kahapon yun nangyari and he arrived in Malaysia. That was a Sunday, Sunday. So for your information, and for you to see is to believe, I want to share with you po ang a brief footage or video clip ni President Donald Trump, ang arrival ceremony niya po dyan po sa Kuala Lumpur last Sunday, and kahapon ang departure ceremony of President Donald Trump when he left Malaysia yesterday. So nandito po. Let's watch and see itong video clip that I have prepared for all of you. Okay, start tayo po sa arrival. Maganda ang spirit ni President Trump when he arrived dito po sa Kuala Lumpur. He was dancing and everybody were very happy. Po. So nandito. Let's watch this video clip. Itong video clip ni President Trump. And he was welcomed by no less than the Prime Minister of Malaysia, si Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim. Last Sunday po when ang Air Force One touchdown sa Kuala Lumpur last Sunday. So nandito po. Let's watch this video. Alright, yun po, nakita natin po, he was dancing when he arrived, no? Sa airport, dyan sa Kuala Lumpur, Sunday po. And daming tao po went and welcome si President Donald Trump. So it was a merry-making atmosphere dyan sa airport po when the President arrived, no? And of course, tight ang security. And sino po nag-welcome ang arrival ni President Trump? Our, no less than our Prime Minister, beloved Prime Minister, Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim. No? And of course, 26 na officially start ang ASEAN Summit. And one day lang siya, the following day, umalis na siya po because mayroon pa rin siya mga iba-ibang schedules sa iba-ibang nation kagaya sa Japan, sa South Korea po. No? He attended. So he's touring itong region natin ngayon po to attend important meetings po, no? Important meetings. So being the number one leader sa mundo, no? Superpower ang America, then it's only his obligation to also visit other countries, no? Other countries. I think sa Malaysia, I think this is the third president who came and visited Malaysia. The third president po of United States of America. Now, of course, when we talk about ang mga leaders who attended the summit, one of them is no other than our own President ng Pilipinas, si BBM or si President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. po. There's only one thing I would like to comment, no? Itong summit na ito po, no? I feel hurt. Sa totoo lang po, parang I really feel hurt when nakita ko po, no, sa mga social media posting sa Facebook, no? Mayroon yun na they showed isang picture dyan po wherein line up ang mga leaders po and wala si President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, no? So akala ko po totoo talaga ito po. I thought totoo wala ang presidente. But apparently, it looks like parang AI lang ito, no? What they did is the one who authored this AI, fake news po, he removed the picture of President Bongbong Marcos and he posted it sa social media. Maybe hoping na may mga criticism po, negative criticism sa presidente natin. Sa presidente natin po. In fairness naman po, I'm not defending ang presidente natin na si President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos. But being a Filipino, whether we like it or not, the president, si President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos is our duly elected president po. And to do such thing, AI, to destroy ang image ng presidente natin, no? You're not only destroying the image of President Bongbong Marcos. You are, kung sino man itong sabihin natin who did this AI posting po, fake news po, you did not destroy the image or tarnish the image of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos. You tarnish the image of all of us, the Filipino nation. We, mga Filipinos po. Sana po, kung galit kayo kay President Ferdinand Marcos or anybody, be it the supporter or those who don't support BBM, no? Let us just stick. Let us just stick sa issue. If ang issue natin is we are not happy with the ongoing or discovered scandals sa Pilipinas, let's stick to that. Kasi kawawa naman ang mga Pilipino po, no? If we do this kind of fake news po. Sana fake news yun po, no? Because parang I don't know, mayroon ba tayong dito picture, I will show you po kung mayroon pa tayong dito picture. Wala na akong picture dito, no? So, pangit na pangit yun po. So, don't do that. Don't do that po. Because kami mga overseas Filipino workers po, we are dealing with our employers, foreigners po. Kung ganon ang mga negative or fake news lumalabas dyan po sa social media, we will be affected. And we are millions of overseas Filipino workers po. Ano naman makita sa amin ang mga employers namin? Na tayong lahat mga Filipino are corrupt? Which is not true. Hindi naman lahat ang mga leaders, politicians natin involved sa corruption, itong scandal. No? So please, be sensitive. Ha? Be sensitive. Huwag naman po yung below the belt po to the extent tayo mga Filipinos po will be badly affected. Alright? Reminder lang yan po. No? I just want to express na I was not happy when I saw this kind of posting sa social media. Posting sa social media po. Okay? So, okay magalit ang mga whoever did it. Maybe somebody from the side of the Duterte did it. I'm not saying they did it, no? Baka lang, no? Or maybe those on the other side din, no? On the other side din, supporting the other camp, baka they did it only for, you know, ang mga sabihin natin personal agenda nila po, selfish motive nila. And without knowing that kawawa tayong lahat mga Filipino. Alright. Let me share with you another footage po, ang departure na naman ni President Donald Trump yesterday morning. Yesterday morning po. Maganda din ang ceremony. Let's watch and listen to this. Alright, yun po, nakita natin ang departure ceremony of President Donald Trump po. Maganda po, very impressive, very impressive. I think no less than our President is very happy with how Malaysia welcome him, red carpet, red carpet welcoming of President Donald Trump. Donald Trump. As what I said, siguro this is the third President of United States of America who visited dito sa Pilipinas. Sino ba yun? Sino ba yung napunta dito? Is it Reagan? President Reagan? Obama ba? O si Biden din na nakapunta ba dito sa Malaysia po? No? So yun, that's the video clip that I want to share sa mga Filipinos po dito sa Sabah po about ang ASEAN Summit. Okay, punta na tayo po ngayon sa issue na I'm talking about, itong flood control projects po, investigation, blah blah blah. And mayroon isang former governor sa Pilipinas who para sa akin po nag-hint na siya po kung sino ang mastermind ng corruption scandal. Ito po involving ang flood control projects natin sa Pilipinas. For me, I said hinted, but when you see this video po, kayo nang bahala po. Maybe sa opinion ninyo, baka sabihin ninyo, na-identify na siya po kung sino ang mastermind talaga po. Which everybody, lahat mga Filipino po, we want to know, sino talaga ang mastermind? itong scandal. Sino talaga? And we are not happy with the ongoing investigation. But anyway, sige lang po. Let me share with you ang first video clip that I have prepared para sa ating lahat dito po sa programa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. And ang first video clip natin is ang press statement o press release ni former Governor of Ilocos Norte, and I'm referring to former Governor Chavit Singson. Sino ba ito si Chavit Singson? Remember, if we talk about the former president, si Joseph Estrada po, he is one of the who played a role, a very important role po in removing Joseph Estrada or President Joseph Estrada po as President of the Philippines po. Although barkada yung talaga sila, no? But something happened dahil sa gambling, sa weteng yata yun po, no? So, he went against Estrada, and he managed to remove Estrada from the presidency, from the office of the president. So, do you think, again, Chavit Singson will be able to remove the president, si PBM or Bongbong Marcos Jr.? Let's see po. Let's see po ang mga salita na he said during his press conference. Ano ito po, mahaba yon press conference niya po or press release niya po, but I cannot share you everything. Portion by portion na lang ako po, I'm going to give you this video clip. So first one I'm going to share with you ay ito po. Let's listen and watch itong video clip ni Chavit Singson.
I speak to you today as a Filipino who has dedicated my life to public service and love this country too much to stay silent. I once believed our nation was finally rising, only to see corruption pull it back down again. Our people are struggling. Prices are high. There is flooding everywhere and billions are being lost to corruption. This flood control scandal is the biggest corruption scheme I have witnessed in my entire life, having seen 8 presidents lead this nation. This is an obvious, well-orchestrated scheme created by this administration to exploit the country's national budget for personal gain. The floods have only worsened during Marcos Jr. administration. Why? Because there was never a master plan for flood control. Only scattered projects approved anywhere and everywhere, without coordination, flood mapping studies, or honesty. Worse, our farmers' crops keep getting destroyed because a dike meant to protect the river failed. Family homes continue to be washed away by flash flood, and our children, the poor, and the entire nation is paying this price. The BBM administration has invested ₱500 billion in flood control alone. More than 9,800 flood control projects have been built. But why do the floods keep getting worse? Let us speak plainly.
Alright, narinig natin po si former Governor of Ilocos Norte, Chavit Singson po. He was telling ang publiko po about ang problema ng Pilipinas, itong flood control projects po. How ang mga epekto ng anomalya sa buhay ng Filipinos. Po. Okay, another video clip I'm going to share with you po. He's touching on one of the issue he touched was on how easy public funds can be used. So let's listen to this. Ang statement ni former Governor of Ilocos Norte, si Chavit Singson. And kayo na bahala po, whether you believe it or not, Kayo na bahala po to make your own opinion or assess him. No? What I'm doing is just to share with you. Anong nagsalita si former governor ng Ilocos Norte, Chavit Singson. Let's listen to this.
Speak plainly. Public funds are not released easily. There is a process. And at the very top of that process sits one man, the President of the Republic of the Philippines. Every year, before Congress sees any line item, the President reviews and approves the National Expenditure Program, the NEP. That is the master plan of where our money will go. Without his signature and approval, it cannot move forward. The Department of Budget and Management, or DBM, then prepares and releases the funds with the President's approval. The Department of Public Works and Highways, DPWH, who also takes orders from the President, implement the project. These are not independent agencies. They follow the President's direction and instruction. And when Congress debates the budget and send it back to Malacanang, who signed it into law? The President himself. He approves the General Appropriation Act, or GAA, with full knowledge of its content. So when the Congress and Senate inserted 450 billion in public funds and Marcos Jr. vetoed only 29 billion, it means he personally reviewed the remaining 421 billion pesos in infrastructure. It is also means he conferred with his first cousin, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Martin Romualdez. He also chairs the Cabinet Cluster of Disaster Preparedness and Infrastructure, which means he should be leading the creation of a genuine, science-based national flood control plan. He is responsible for the long-term plan of his own Build Better More program. But instead, it has turned into Build More, Waste More. Every major flood project, every rehabilitation program, every large-scale public works, all of it passes through his desk. He reviews every plan and approves every peso. So tell me, how can anyone say, I don't know? How can he say, you should be ashamed of yourself? Perhaps it is you that you should be ashamed of yourself, Mr. President. Filipinos' hard-earned pesos have disappeared into flood control projects like GOS. Who carries the ultimate responsibility? It is not the officials, not the engineers, not the contractors. It is the President who holds the power and the trust of the nation. Corruption has been allowed to flood every agency of this government. It is a failure of leadership at the very top. What our President is doing is shifting the blame to others to save himself. That, ladies and gentlemen, is called a weak leader. Let me ask this simple question. Why is the ICI, the Independent Commission on Infrastructure, not investigating Ilocos Norte? Did you know that majority of the flood control projects in Ilocos Norte are contracted to either the Discayas or the newly elected Lawag mayor, handpicked by the President himself? Almost 4 billion pesos has been funded to this mayor, who is their favorite contractor since Bongbong administration. Why is this not being flagged? The controversial Discayas themselves have 2.7 billion flood control projects that are paid in advance, with some completed in Ilocos Norte.
Alright, narinig natin po si former Governor of Ilocos Norte, Chavit Singson, talking about itong flood control projects po. And nakita natin po, he is really mabigat ang mga akusasyon ni Chavez Singson kay Presidente Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. po. And he wants, sabi niya po sa statement niya, sabi niya, bakit daw? No? Why not investigate din ang mga flood control projects dyan po sa lugar ng presidente natin sa Ilocos? Kasi dyan din po, marami din ang mga flood control projects handled, awarded to itong controversial or very hot personalities po. Ang contractor, si Diskaya. Ang may-ari ng construction company po ay si Curly and si Sarah Diskaya po, no? And kayo, what do you think? Palagay ninyo po, may mga puntos ba yon si former governor of Ilocos Norte, Chavez Singson, or what? But anyway, mayroon pa isang video clip tayo dito po. I'm going to share with you po. And Chavez Singson is challenging the president. Let's watch and listen to this. Sandali po. Okay? Let's watch and listen to this. He is challenging, no? Challenging. Nandito po. Brief lang ito.
I challenge you, Mr. President, to order your so-called independent body, the ICI, to begin this probe in your own province of Ilocos Norte. Prove credibility first before diverting blame to others. I challenge the youth and the religious group to accompany the ICI in their investigation of Ilocos Norte. I urge the public to call out the engineers and contractors in Ilocos Norte to stop protecting the mastermind. Look at how they will spin the story and try to silence me. The so-called plunder case they filed against me is a baseless complaint, a political weapon meant to destroy me because I have chosen to speak the truth about corruption at the highest level.
Alright, narinig din na po. How do you understand? How do you understand? Yung statement ni Chavez Singson when he said, stop protecting the mastermind. Does it mean that he is now identifying Bongbong Marcos as the mastermind of all these scandalous awarding of flood control projects or not? Kayo nang bahala po, no? Kayo nang bahala. Para sa akin, parang he hinted. Hinted siya po na si Bongbong Marcos is the mastermind. But to some, I don't know how you look at it, no? How you look at it. Is he identifying already that Bongbong Marcos is the mastermind or what? But yon ang mga mabigat na salita ni Chavez Singson. Chavez Singson, the former governor of Ilocos Norte. Parehas din sila po from that area. From that area. And he keep on saying na investigate talaga. Bakit hindi kayo mag-investigate itong ICI dyan sa lugar ni Marcos? Sa lugar ni Marcos po. Kasi he keep on repeating and have shown na some recibos po, no? Evidences po na mayroon talaga malaking amount of allocation para sa flood control projects dyan po sa Ilocos. Mayroon din po sa distrito ng anak ni President Bongbong Marcos, si Congressman, and now Majority Leader sa House of Representatives, si Congressman Sandro Marcos. Although earlier, si Congressman Sandro Marcos said or claimed na there is no such thing as questionable flood control projects sa distrito niya po. But previous statements made by Chavez, he showed ang mga projects po na may malaking question mark. Malaking question mark. Alright. So, mayroon pa rin tayo dito. Isa pang video clip galing from Chavez Singson wherein sabi niya, tama na po, wag pa ibudol si Marcos sa mga Pilipinos po. Do not allow Marcos to continue to confuse us o ano ba yung budol? Ha? Budol sa atin. Okay? Let me share you itong video clip of Chavit Singson po. Mahaba yun, ano niya po, ang statement niya po, press statement niya po, video. But I cannot give you all, kaya nga, portion by portion lang ako po, I can share it to you po. But anyway, pwede na po, at least, you will have the idea, no? You will have the idea. And nandito na ang video clip. Let's watch and listen to this.
My countrymen, let us no longer be fooled. We keep trusting the same name. We are told that Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. will redeem the Marcos corruption course of the Filipinos. But look around. His government agencies are flooding with corruption. And before it blows up into his face, he used the Suna to tell the story as if he is the hero who uncovered the mess to save himself while deflecting the blame on others. Let that be made stupid. How many times must we let the same family treat our country like their personal piggy bank? How many times must we trust the same name and expect a different result? If we truly love our country and children, then we must break this cycle. We are on the verge of exposing the biggest corruption scandal in the Philippine history. And should stop now. We should not stop now. Let us not allow the ICI, which was created by the President himself, to control or limit the investigation. Allow different groups to investigate in the ICI who will not be afraid to ask hard questions, and it should be viewed publicly for transparency. We cannot let them protect his friends and his cousins, his family, and most of all, the President himself. Now that the truth is out, we cannot wait for change. We must force it. Thus in power will not fix this system. It must be the people. First, to our farmers and workers, demand accountability. Your fields are still flooded. Even after billions have been spent, your roads keep collapsing after every storm, and your towns still sink in mud. Second, let the student lead. Stand up, organize, and lead the peaceful but powerful movement. This is your future. They are stealing. Stand united. When the youth stand united as one, no power can silence them. Third, and I appeal to all politicians. Politicians should set aside ambition. Forget colors. Forget alliances. This is no longer about politics. This is about restoring the nation's honor. Those who still have integrity, speak now. History will remember the few who stood up and forget the many who stayed silent. Fourth, the police and armed forces stand with the people, not with the powerful. You swore an oath to defend the Republic, not any single politician.
Mabigat. Mabigat po ang mga salita ni Chavit Singson. Mabigat talaga po. For me, I take it very mabigat talaga na ang mga accusations niya, allegations niya dyan po kay Presidente Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos. But again, may ano kaya ang motive ni former Governor Chavit Singson in coming out with this kind of statements sa media o sa publiko? May rason ba yan? Galit ba siya or what? Maybe galit siya because of nakita niya po that many Filipinos are suffering dahil sa itong corruption, which is true also. True, galit. Hindi lang si Chavit Singson, tayong lahat mga Filipinos, majority of the Filipinos, we are not happy, we are angry when this issue came out. exposed by no less than our own presidency, President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos. No? But the other thing is that we have also to consider that maybe si Chavez Singson ngayon, no? Dahil mayroon din ng file a case against him sa korte po just recently. So, is it my personal motive niya in accusing Marcos all these things? Dahil ba dyan sa kaso? Although he keep on saying, yes, I am going to cooperate in the event there will be an investigation or yon sa korte po. He will answer all these things sa kaso against him. No? So, let's see. Let's see po kung what will happen next. What will happen next. In fairness to our president, si President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, one thing I appreciate and salute si President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos is that he's one leader na he don't want confrontational. No? You notice, left and right ang criticism sa kanya, negative criticism, but you never hear a word from him. No? You never hear a word from him. Kalma lang siya and just do his work, no? Attend meetings, represent the country, and kung may mga problema dito po, trying to solve the problem sa Pilipinas. No? He never go confrontational, no? Hindi ang style ni Bongbong Marcos or President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Yan, respeto din ako sa kanya when it comes to this thing. No? Alright, finally, mayroon tayo last na video clip, no, that I want to share with you. Ang mga kababayan ko dito po sa Malaysia, kababayan ko dyan po sa mga iba-ibang parte ng mundo, ang mga overseas Filipino workers, at saka mga kababayan, kapatid, natin dyan po sa Pilipinas. Ang appeal ni Chavez Singson sa mga Filipinos. Let's watch and listen to this.
Finally, to all Filipinos, demand accountability at the top. The truth can no longer be hidden, and the people will no longer be silenced. We are not stupid. We deserve better. Our children deserve better. If we stay silent, the truth will be buried again, and our children will pay the price. This is not about politics. It is about true or sober leadership and accountability. If the president cannot face the truth and take responsibility for his failures, he must step aside for the sake of the nation. A voluntary resignation would not be a humiliation. It would be an act of dignity, a rare moment of courage that could still restore trust in our institution. Every peso diverted and every project that doesn't exist is not just a waste. It is a loss of life, loss of security, loss of dignity. I urge all of you to rise and speak and to act now so that the truth may guide our country forward. Thank you, and may God bless the Philippines.
Alright, yan po ang press statement ni former Governor Chavez Singson. No? Singson po. And before I will conclude itong programa natin for Tuesday ngayon, no? October 28, malapit na ang Pasko. No? Let's talk about itong Blue Ribbon Committee sa Senado po. No? Kasi hot issue din ito po. Everybody's looking forward. Looking forward po kung matuloy ba ang hearing. Hearing po dyan sa Senado. And I will share with you po itong news article that I got it from sa legit media outlet dyan po sa Pilipinas, and it is referring kay former chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee, and most likely will be returning back as chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee, and I'm referring to no other than si Senator Ping Lacson. Senator Ping Lacson. Maganda din ang record ni Senator Ping Lacson po. So, nandito po. Nandito po. Senate Blue Ribbon Panel to cast a wider net. Ito ang title, heading ng news article dyan po sa PhilStar. Let me read you the article. The public may expect a wider corruption probe that will implicate bigger names when the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee resumes its investigation next month into alleged flood control project anomalies. Senate President Pro Tempore Pacifico Lacson said kahapon. Lacson declined to provide the details as to the identity of the very important witness whom he previously said would be invited to the next Blue Ribbon hearing. Next Blue Ribbon hearing expected to be on November 14. But in an interview with Storycon on One News, he confirmed that this witness would be able to provide additional details into the alleged corruption scheme involving flood control projects. It's all going to be wider. Some things that didn't come out in the previous hearing will surface this time. A new name will come out, a relatively big name, the senators said in Filipino. So, expected daw po, no? They invited malaking pangalan po. Sino yon? We don't know yet. We will only know sa November 14. Let's leave it at that. Once the person is in front of us, we will hear it directly. We just have to wait until November 14. We will find out then if this person will actually show up. Tingnan na lang natin po sa November 14, sabi ni Lacson. Although all indications show that this witness will testify, Lacson said it is still difficult to confirm his participation until that person is in front of the committee. I'm just saying the witness is very important because more names could be added. Those involved in the payoff and other modus operandi related to the Ghost Flood Control Project, sabi ni Lacson. Lacson said the next Blue Ribbon hearing, the earliest of which will be scheduled on November 14, will depend on whether he will be re-elected as its chairman when the Senate resumes session. Kailan ba mag-resume session ang Senate? Scheduled sila po sa November 10. He earlier resigned after some senators reportedly expressed displeasure over his statement, such as the supposed insertion in this year's budget. However, Lacson confirmed that he is willing to return as committee chairman, provided that there will be no objections from his colleagues. We don't know what will happen, but if elected, I will accept the position again. Accept the position again. So yun po ang latest. Tingnan natin, maghintay tayo po hanggang November 14. And hopefully po, itong ICI din, Independent Commission for Infrastructure po, will also resume ang hearing nila po, and this time around, sana lang po, they will keep the word because they promised earlier that the hearing will be made public. Made public po. Ang Blue Ribbon Committee, wala tayong problema po because it is covered by the media. O public hearing ito po. But itong ICI, the other day, they said, last week, there will be a hearing and it will be open to the public. And after 1 or 2 days po, they retract ang statement nila po for reasons that there must be some preparations. So, duda na din ang mga tao ngayon sa ICI. sa ICI po. And anyway, let's see what will happen. Let's see what will happen. So ito lang po ang gusto ko sana to share with you today, Tuesday, October 28 na po, malapit na ang Pasko po. Sana maskin paano I managed to give you ang mga latest updates natin dyan po sa Pilipinas, especially itong mga hot issues po, which I believe tayo mga Filipinos dito po sa Malaysia, particularly dito po sa Sabah, we really want to know what is happening. Ano mga latest updates. I will continue to monitor what is happening dyan po sa Pilipinas, and I'll make sure through this, sabihin natin, Nick Talk, Daria Talk with Nico, no? You, ang mga kababayan ko dito sa Sabah, you will be able to know ano ang mga latest updates natin. Huwag natin kalimutan to support itong channel po. Like this channel, para at least you will be able to be updated of what is happening po. Maybe I won't be able to give you ang breaking news, but definitely, whatever the breaking news, no, I will make sure that you will be properly informed. So with this, once again, si Nico Fabian would like to say, thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, God bless us all. And ingat tayong lahat po. And let's pray to God for security, safety, and better life for not only the Filipinos, but also for our Malaysian hosts, ang mga Malaysians friends natin dito po sa Malaysia. In the meantime, see you next episode. Bye and I love you.